corners of the earth, from the Arctic Circle to New Zealand, from Borneo to Brazil, Caterpillar products are dependably at work. Let's hop on our magic carpet and visit a few of these faraway jobs. Here at Great Bear Lake in Canada, a radium mine puts a 25 horsepower tractor to work moving equipment around the camp. The machine also hauls food and supplies from the outside world, taking sub-zero weather, steep grades, and icy trails with sure-footed confidence. In this Ontario township, a blizzard no longer brings an almost hopeless problem. Contact between doctor and home, between frontier camp and railhead, can be maintained in spite of 6-foot drifts. A short while before, this was an impassable side road. Now it's been transformed to a smooth main highway, thanks to the power and traction needed to roll aside such hard-packed drifts. Transportation is of vital importance in the land of deep snows, and swift, safe transportation in the air, as well as on land, is just as essential in winter as in summer. So tractors and snowplows get the job of clearing the runways on the St. Hubert Airport in Quebec. Takeoffs will be fast and sure, and landings safe at this field. But snow-covered airports and highways are not the only places which must be cleared in the Dominion. Thousands of acres of virgin soil are thickly covered with birch, pine, and undergrowth. A 10-foot brush cutter on this powerful tractor tosses trees aside like jackstraws. The machine, owned by the Northern Settlers Reestablishment Board of Saskatchewan, will hook onto a plow when the clearing is completed and will carry on by planting a crop and later harvesting it. And here's another crop, thousands of miles away, far up in the spruce timber of Sweden. It may become matches or 2x4s or newsprint someday, but now it must be brought out of deep winter woods. Of course, you can't tell by looking at it, but the logging road over which this 40-ton load is moving is built across a swamp. This same D4 tractor built the road, broke it out, and packed it hard so that heavy sleighs would not break through. The going is tough all the way. Grades range from 5 to 14%, so a winch is used to double the pull of the tractor on the steepest inclines. Economical and efficient handling of logs requires equipment which is more than a match for any emergency. So here's an outfit which has proven its dependability on a task where extreme cold, steep grades, and 40-ton loads would stop a tractor less able to conquer conditions as it finds them. Across the Baltic Sea lies Estonia, where progressive officials have launched a large road-building program. 3 things astonish them about their new Caterpillar equipment. First, its capacity and almost unbelievable production. Second, its operating economy. And third, its amazing traction. They found each outfit was handling 80 cubic meters an hour, and that's real earth moving on any job. So modern highways have come to Estonia. For long hauls on the same job, 2 10-yard wagons were hooked in tandem to 97 horsepower tractors. On hauls of nearly a mile, each outfit averaged 2 round trips an hour and delivered 15 cubic meters every load. With tractors and wagons both on tracks, soft spots and gullies are bridged without a moment's delay, and the side dump wagons only pause at the fill long enough to add another brimming load to the new highway. Now to the foot of the highest peak in Africa, a mountain of perpetual snow, yet located exactly on the equator in Kenya. Here, a giant tractor roots out native trees to clear the way for a still stronger forest, a cultivated forest of strange tropical plants. Sisal is its name, and it requires from 3 to 4 years to reach the point where the leaves can be cut. It's called an air plant because it takes most of its food from the air. But growers have now discovered that by conserving moisture with cultivation, they can speed up nature's work and harvest the leaves a year sooner. After shredding, washing, and drying, the fiber is baled and sent to the twine manufacturers. In spite of wiry grass and ground cemented by the sun, the diesel tractor and rotary hoe do a fine job in the hands of the native driver. Nearby, on the shores of Lake Victoria, a 66-horsepower diesel engine drives a small gold stamp mill. Fuel and repairs must be hauled great distances, so dependability and low fuel consumption are of extra importance here. From darkest Africa, we go down under to New Zealand, where a caterpillar demonstration has drawn a huge crowd of interested observers. And the center of attraction is the huge D8 tractor and elevating grader. Within the range of its application, this outfit is the fastest known method of moving earth. As the grader is pulled forward, its big disc plow bites into the ground and throws earth up on an endless belt. From here, it can be cast to the side for forming a roadbed, loaded into trucks, or piled high to build canals. And if the walls of the canals need reshaping, a blade grader is ideal. Its wide range of blade positions also makes it a grand machine for road construction and maintenance. Power is substituted for powder on this part of the demonstration. Instead of blasting, this tractor and ripper are put to work tearing out heavy rocks and preparing the way for tractors and scrapers. Visitors are amazed at the dirt-moving capacity of these sturdy units. An easy push on the cable controls, and the scraper is loaded to overflowing and headed for the fill. Built to handle many different types of equipment, this tractor pushes a bulldozer to the very edge of the fill and levels the earth deposited by tractors and scrapers. When the demonstration is over, the Honorable Mr. Semple, Minister of Public Works for New Zealand, praises the equipment and the men who operated it. From the land of the Southern Cross to the country south of the Rio Grande is but a moment's trip on our flying carpet, and we pause to watch the slower tempo of living in this little Mexican town. Centuries have passed since the Spaniards first brought civilization from the Old World, but this ancient method of rope making still prevails. Primitive irrigation systems employ crude wheels turned by donkeys. But industry is as modern as tomorrow in this sugar mill, where a giant sling picks up cane and carries it to the crushers. Far-sighted owners demand insurance against power failure, so they have installed a diesel generator set to supply standby power and light the mill. In a land of many contrasts, oxen strain to plow a few rows of sun-dried soil. And an old lake bed, once a moat which guarded the capital of the Aztec nation, will now provide food for thousands thanks to one 35-horsepower tractor. Labor is plentiful and cheap in Mexico, and sometimes, even today, we find back-breaking toil. But it takes many men, many trips to build a road when baskets are small and the sun is unmerciful. Even against such low-cost methods as this, Caterpillar power comes out on top. It's tireless, unaffected by heat. So hour after hour, in blinding dust, this diesel-driven crusher turns out rock at a fuel cost of only a quarter of a cent per cubic yard. Natives headed for the marketplace pause in wonder before machines which, in a few hours, build roads that will open up new worlds for them. Roads that will bring new tourists and new merchandise to the land of the Mexicano. Hula hula girls, tropical palms, tourists, and Waikiki in the background. They all add up to one thing, Hawaii. And against the same background, with the city of Honolulu just below, we find a modern football field being carved out of a hillside at the rate of more than 100 cubic yards an hour. Caterpillar equipment is to be found on dozens of jobs in the islands. Here's a new sewer where two diesels are at work. First, a 60-horsepower tractor crane does all the lifting and lowering. The second outfit is a 44-horsepower pumping unit. It takes care of all the seepage and pumps 1 million gallons of water with only 2 gallons of fuel. Out in the cane fields, under a cloud-filled sky, a giant tractor and plow are cutting $31 an acre from former costs of preparing a seedbed. No wonder growers use these machines for every operation, even reshaping the old ratoon lines. When the cane is ready for cultivation, the same outfit pulls a double-duty tool. a machine which applies a weed-killing spray to the ground in addition to cultivating it. The old method of harvesting cane was to cut it by hand with a heavy, long-bladed cane knife. But this new way of gathering in the crop saves much time and hand labor, and both are precious when harvest is at hand. A winch-equipped tractor pulls a giant rake into position for filling, while a diesel-powered loader drags it back to the cane cars. Then the same loader, using a grab hook, quickly fills a 5-ton car to capacity, and very soon an entire train will be made up. Behind a 60-horsepower tractor, 50 cars holding nearly 500,000 pounds of cane start rolling to the mills. The islands are famous for many things, but most of all for fine pineapple. This fruit likes a deep, mellow seed bed, so the largest diesel tractor does the plowing. Another D8 tractor pulls a subsoiler to break up plow pans. This is one of more than 50 similar machines owned by the Hawaiian Pineapple Company. Literally plowing circles around the plodding water buffalo, this tractor and plow prepares the soil for planting taro, the staff of life in the tropics. So, through the camera's eye, we have peered into a few of the far corners of the world. And there we found Caterpillar products hard at work as usual, pushing back frontiers, broadening horizons, lifting loads from tired backs, making life richer and happier all over the world.